My name is Chaz, and I'm a creator. From the very beginning, I found myself fascinated with art. Growing up, I watched a lot of movies and I enjoyed a lot of animated movies. And even after watching movies, I would just draw and color for hours on end. Aside from that, I found myself actually just live action role play by myself for hours on end as well, growing up. I would just act out scenes in my head, I would visualize things, and this truly kept me occupied. But as you grow older, your kind of creativity dies down as you go into the real world. In elementary school, I never really found myself exercising any of these creative traits. The only time I actually ever did was during the summer when I'd go on vacation with my family. Whenever I was on vacation with my family, I would just go around taking photos with my phone. Fast forward to second year, where I became multimedia director of my club. I was in charge of just creating promo and doing photo shoots for products and just promotion events. And I honestly had a blast. It was fun. But it wasn't as fulfilling as what I did in high school. So to counteract that, I went and asked around my friends, hey, do you want to take photos? Or are there any photos that you need for Instagram or for LinkedIn or whatever? And I found myself enjoying it as much as I did in high school. And from shooting people, it snowballed into shooting concerts. And this led to even more opportunity. I ended up having the privilege of shooting a lot of artists that I listened to growing up. And even to this day, like I still listen, the artists that I've shot are artists that I listen to. And it was amazing. The amount of people that I met through this opportunity also just created a whole new separate world from my normal life. And it just felt like these were just two different worlds that I had in my grasp. As a creator, you have the ability to change and form perceptions of the environment that surrounds you. With this power, you can alter the way people feel and what people do in their communities. From the very start, my goal was to take the mundane and alter people's perceptions in hopes that they may appreciate their surroundings. From time and time again, we've seen creators do this. I think makers really do have an influence on society. I think what dictates what's popular in my generation is purely off of what makers and creators do. I think even with language today, a lot of the language that my generation uses stems from social media creators and TikTokers and singers and all that. Even down to the way I dress, even down to the way other people dress, it's greatly influenced by makers. And I think that their role in society is greatly understated. And I think, in my opinion, they're more impactful than anyone else in the world right now. I think artists that I look up to, four come to mind. Virgil Abloh, who's the designer of White and was the creative director of Louis Vuitton before he passed away. He really stood out to me because of how, I would say, innovative his designs are. A lot of people kind of critiqued his designs, but to me, it seemed like it was so basic that it was so innovative, if that made sense. He really made Helvetica really popular. Again, he made using quotation marks really popular. So that always was someone that I looked up to. Another person I looked up to was G Dragon, who was a fashion designer, and he's also most popularly known as a singer for a K-pop group. And the way he kind of inspired me was that he was one of the first Korean artists to dive into the fashion world, and he became one of the biggest fashion icons from Asia. So being Asian, it was so crazy to see him work actually with Virgil Abloh and just have such a big impact on Korean music, but also worldwide fashion. And then another artist that I looked up to is Christina Pak. Christina Pak is a fashion photographer, and I'm sure you can see why she kind of inspired me, because she was really one of the first photographers that I ended up consistently following. And yeah, her work was truly amazing. She actually featured Virgil Abloh, G-Dragon, and a bunch of artists that I looked up to, and her style kind of resonated with me. And yeah, it was just truly amazing to see. And I think that over time I saw that my kind of photography style develop based off of hers. And another person that also had a similar impact was this photographer named Gunnar Stahl, who took a lot of influential hip-hop photos during the 2010s. And yeah, that guy really inspired me. That was the very first photo book that I ever bought. Via my sister, she gifted it to me, and looking through his book, I just saw so many artists that I looked up to, and I was like, I aspire to be like this guy one day. Never really thought that I'd end up going into college photography, but that was something that was very unexpected. I think now more than ever, being a creator in the community matters a lot more. With generative AI taking a lot of attention away from actual art, and the freedom of speech consistently being challenged in today's age. I think that creators should use their platform to express themselves in an authentic manner. I know my generation values more authentic, deep-rooted stories rather than big corporate messages that aren't as authentic. As a creator, I want to be remembered for someone that remained authentic and true to myself. I think nowadays, a lot of people tend to just conform into whatever society wants them to do, especially in the creative field. A lot of people will start doing things that they don't necessarily align with, but they're just doing so in hopes of interactions and clicks. But I hope that I can be remembered as someone who's authentic, whether it be through concert photography, making videos like this, or just simply being myself. When it comes to creating, I hope that kids can look up to me from my city, Mississauga, and from my homeland, Philippines. I think representation matters now more than ever, especially with all the people mad about DEI and woke stuff. I think now is more of an opportunity to really showcase everyone's talents from all over the world. And yeah, as a maker, I just want to be seen as someone who really put in their best effort, and honestly, just, as I said, was authentic to themselves. Because I think authenticity really makes more meaningful works. I think that's why over time artists and poets and makers have been able to stand the test of time, just because at its core it's authentic, relatable, and impactful.